I'm here in the Yarra Valley at a Montague Farms apple orchard. Now these envy apples are ready to pick and I have a great idea for a recipe. Everyone has a great apple crumble recipe, so I'm going to step it up and make an apple crumble pavlova. I need to pick some apples, but first, David, whose whole life has revolved around growing the perfect apple, is going to give me some tips.
You've got to peel it back. You almost put your finger against it.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Sometimes they don't, but you need to get this part of your fingers, not the end part. So you basically pick like that.
Yeah.
Because that's all your fleshy part. Whereas this part, when you peel it, it's hard as.
I feel bad taking apples from your tree, but I'll return with a pavlova, okay?
I'm now ready to go make that apple crumble pavlova. I can't wait to try this recipe. Let's get started with pavlova. Starting with the pavlova, a few tips I can give you is your egg white must be at room temperature to get maximum aeration. That goes in your mixing bowl. You can use a hand mixer as well. Now, this is a secret ingredient when whisking meringue, cream of tartar. This is going to ensure that you get a really creamy meringue and none of that separation. Whip this just until it becomes foamy, then we're going to add the sugar in. Once you've achieved a medium peak and you've given the sugar 2 minutes to stabilise the egg white and to dissolve, we add in the sieved cornstarch. How easy is pavlova? You want the pavlova mix to be tight so it reflects light, and you can see that's got a gorgeous sheen to it. I've greased an 18-centimetre ring and placed it on some baking paper. We spoon the pavlova mix in. You need this to be quite tight. You don't want to trap any air between the spoonfuls of meringue. I chose apple crumble pavlova because I think both pavlova and apple crumble are very nostalgic. I have fantastic memories growing up of my mum making both, so why not combine them together? Now I'm just going to use a spoon to push this up the side, and this is to avoid trapping any air. Normally with meringue you're told to tread carefully, but it's equally as important to ensure we don't have any air trap between the layers of pavlova. With my pav, I level off the surface with a palette knife. Slightly domed in the centre. Ready for the big reveal? I'm going to pull the ring off. We bake it without the ring. Are you ready? I'm going to create some texture on the side of the pav, so just with a palette knife, going around the outside. Bring those peaks into the centre. We bake this now at 100 degrees Celsius in a fan-forced oven for 3 hours. After the 3 hours, simply turn the oven off and let it sit in the oven overnight to cool completely. Vanilla cream is next. This needs 6 hours to set in the fridge before whipping, so it might be what you start with. Vanilla and cream in the pot with sugar. Once that's come to a boil, dissolve the gelatin. This is the ultimate cream for a pavlova. Now that we've melted the gelatin, pour it over the chilled cream and it goes into the fridge for 6 hours. So this will hold really well on a pav. Never have I seen a pav that's served and eaten immediately. So when you've got this on display for 30 minutes, an hour, it'll hold brilliantly. The beauty of the pav is it leaves a little bit of a dip and a crater in the centre, which is perfect for our cream on top. Plastic wrap on the surface in the fridge for 6 hours. Now for me, it wouldn't be an apple crumble without vanilla custard. Cream, milk, and vanilla in here. In this bowl, we combine sugar, cornstarch, and some egg. A good custard will always have butter added at the end. Don't let anyone tell you any different. The butter is the good stuff that's going to give you the perfect mouthfeel and consistency. Bring this to a boil. Liquids go in over the eggs. Pour the mixture back into the saucepan. Whisk that until it comes back to the boil. Now this is the good stuff, thick and creamy. Butter goes in 1 piece at a time. Plastic wrap goes on the surface, it goes into the fridge for a few hours and then it's ready to use. Sauteed apples are next. You require 2 of these beautiful Montague Farm Envy apples. They're the sweetest apples in the market. And what I love about these is not only the white flesh, but they take ages to oxidize. So when you cut them, they don't really oxidize. I'm going to peel them. I know I use a knife to peel, not a peeler. I'm going to core them and cut each apple into 12 pieces. Although these are the sweetest apple in the market, they still have that delicious tartness you want in an apple, which is why I believe they'll go so beautifully with pavlova. These Envy apples are beautiful fresh, but they are also extra delicious when we saute them. Butter goes into the pan, a little bit of vanilla paste, ground cinnamon, and sugar. Heat this up, we're going to put the apples in, we're going to saute them until they just soften a little bit, but they don't collapse. You don't want them to be transparent. Take a look at those apples. We've browned the butter, we've caramelized the sugar, we've got cinnamon in there and vanilla. Let these cool at room temperature. Of course, an essential part of apple crumble is the crumble itself. I use brown sugar for those caramel tones and flavor, plain flour, butter, and cinnamon. Mix that until the butter is combined, but it doesn't come together as a dough. It comes just to a crumble form. The crumble is still crumble without coming together. This goes onto a tray and into the oven at 170 degrees Celsius for approximately 10 to 12 minutes. It will be a little bit more crumble than what you need, but you can just freeze the leftover. A match made in heaven is apple and caramel, especially that oozy caramel. I'm going to boil some cream. At the same time, I'm going to caramelize some sugar and stir it gently. Make sure all the sugar is dissolved before we stop it cooking with the boiled cream. Stop that cooking with the boiled cream. The aroma in here is absolutely beautiful. It's hard to beat that caramel smell. Sea salt goes in, liquid glucose, unsalted butter, which is going to help it set. Place the caramel into a bowl. Now all we're waiting for is the caramel to cool and we can put it together. We have everything ready, and now for the fun part. Don't assemble until you're ready to serve. Our custard goes on first. If your pav collapses a little bit in the middle, all the better, because you can fill it with these beautiful toppings. Next comes the cream. The cream is whipped. You don't need to whip it for long. Spoon it on. Now our beautiful Envy apples going on. They will drizzle a little bit down the side. Don't take too much juice from the bottom of the bowl. I know we're loading it up, but you'll thank me later. A drizzle of caramel. Just get the drizzle going. I want the crumble extra crumbly, so I'm taking the pieces that I baked, which are completely cool, and breaking them up on top. The envy apple is not only beautiful to eat as a fresh apple, but it really does give me so much inspiration for other dessert recipes. But we have this apple crumble pavlova in front of me. Pavlova is very nostalgic for me. Family functions always had a pav, and I've made my interpretation of that classic pav, and I think it's going to be my new favorite.